Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from a somewhat hazy Schiphol airport. My name is Boy. Goedemorgen gossen, alles goed jongen? So, yesterday somebody asked me in the chat if I ever also stream along other runways, and it got me thinking, and looking back I realized that it was almost 3 months ago that I was streaming from this location. So I figured it was about time that I went back to the Kaagbaan for some action. Now today Kaagbaan is open in runway configuration 06, currently the only runway in use for arrivals. At the moment 2 runways are in use for departures. Runway 36 left, de Polderbaan, and runway 09, de Buitenveldenbaan. As you guys can see, it is hazy. If I zoom out just a little bit, here is the north side of the cargo area. I've mentioned it before, it is on both sides of runway 0624. On the north side over there, and also on the south side, but it is a bit obscured from over here because of, well, that mound of sand or whatever it is that is in the foreground. At the moment the temperature is about 8 degrees or so centigrade, so 46 degrees Fahrenheit, not too warm. The wind is blowing from the north. Now if my camera can focus, there we go. Hope the video and sound are a little bit okay. Infinity, goedemorgen. And Infinity also mentioning that there's a 747 freighter from Suparna inbound in 5 minutes. Ruben Gerschwiler from Zurich, good morning. How is life over there in Zurich? Hopefully you guys are having better weather than we have over here. So 3 months it has been since I last visited this location. I went a bit earlier because last time I was here I was still in the beginning phase of starting the channel and didn't have a lot of experience under my belt yet. So following the airplanes back then was a bit harder for me. Now in the meantime I've upgraded to a much better tripod, plus I've also tweaked the ergonomics, and hopefully that results in much smoother footage and also better sound in the meantime. Back then I was still struggling to find the right audio settings with my equipment. Beginning of January I think it was. 2 times I've been here. This is the 3rd time, and the 2 previous times it was only departures. This time round it is arrivals. Ian Graham says hi from Zutphen. Goedemorgen, good morning. Hope you're doing well, Ian. Now, according to the weather forecast, it is set to clear up later during the day, and if I look around, it does seem that the cloud base is also opening up somewhat. I'm very careful in saying that because yesterday I thought that as well, and actually it stayed overcast throughout the day. But if I look to the, what is it, northeast this is, because this is in the direction 06, so northeast is what we are now looking towards. The clouds do seem to be a bit more open, and this is also where the wind is coming from. Well, it's coming from the north, so basically should be approximately coming from over there. Unfortunately, due to the current visibility, we cannot see the airplanes arriving very far in advance. I have found out that they become visible just about here, and in fact there is our next airplane. Now, if the weather is clear, visibility is clear, you can see the airplanes way further up ahead. In fact, if it is back-to-back inbound traffic, you typically also can make out the glide slope because they are following the same path to the runway. When they have their lights on, you can almost visualize it. But the same goes, of course, for the Polderbaan. Visibility is even such that if planes were to depart from this runway, we wouldn't even be able to see them, probably taxiing to the runway threshold on the other side, although we have clear view on that from over here. Only faint silhouettes are visible in the distance, unfortunately. Hey there, Stephen Morley. How's life in Ribble Valley? Let me quickly turn around the camera because I spy with my little eye a new airplane. Let's see, this looks like an A330. Now, humidity is still high. The condensation that we saw over the wings and the wingtips with the departing planes yesterday are also visible every now and again on the airplanes when landing. Touchdown. You don't often see A330s make a hard landing. For some reason they always seem to be touching down very smoothly. Guten Morgen, Monica. How's life in Germany? Hope you guys are having better weather than we have over here. Good morning, Paul Turk. How's life over where you are living? So the airplane should arise out of the clouds somewhere over here. That's what I figured out while I was testing. You have to wait until they come out of the clouds. Normally speaking, from over here you would be able to see them well in advance. There's nothing that is obscuring the view. And Infinity says that after this one it is Queen time. Well, how's that to start the week with? Better than yesterday. Yesterday I don't think we've seen any Queens during the stream. Well, can't be a royal day each day. So the wind is blowing from the north mostly. It is a bit variable around true north, but that means that there is a little bit of crosswind from the left in theory. The wind isn't blowing very hard, as was the case yesterday, so not a whole lot of crabbing or exciting landings, I think. We'll see. Monica says that it is cloudy too in Netjets. So far, so much for spring, eh? Relatively cold, relatively cloudy everywhere. I think most of Europe is pretty cold for the time of year. Of course, there are always some exceptions. Hey, look at that. Hey Wilma, goedemorgen. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back, good to see you on this Monday morning. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the queen, the first queen of the day. Infinity mentioned it already, Suparna Airlines. Thrust still audible. Now, the upside for this airplane is that it doesn't have to taxi very long because the cargo area is surrounding both sides of this runway. It's all on the south side of the platform area. Now, according to the website that is informing the public about the expected runway usage, today, at least the morning and the afternoon, 06 should be in use for arrivals. Well, I'm doing fine. It is a little bit cold. That's the only downside, but otherwise I'm doing excellent. It is not too windy, it is very quiet over here. I do see some patches of blue sky now appearing between some of the clouds. let's not jinx things, and let's just pretend I didn't say that out loud. Tried following this airplane without zooming out, but that is something I need to practice a little bit more, I noticed. First time in 3 months since I've been here. It was about time. I was lucky that I was able to find a parking spot. I did park relatively close to the rear of the car in front of me. I had a look before leaving the car. There was also some room on the front, so I hope I hope the car, if it leaves before I'm leaving, that it can get out of its spot, but it might have to do a bit of twisting and turning. That's always one of the challenges of trying to film over here, especially from the car. Which is really a shame, because standing here once again, I realized that this is also a very nice place to do some live streaming from. It's much more difficult to find a parking spot over here than it is over at the Polderbaan or the Buitenvelderbaan near the McDonald's. Back in the day, there used to be an official spottersplaats over here, a bit to the right, where now these buildings are, these logistics buildings. It was a really great spot to do some plane spotting, but unfortunately they closed it down in favor of building those logistics buildings. Very gentle last minute. What was it again? Over here. There we go. So it is back-to-back inbound traffic once again. The Dreamliner silhouette clearly visible. Looks to be a TUI. Haven't had time yet to look on flight radar to confirm it, but it has all the markings of a TUI. Goedemorgen Berend en good morning Peppy. Good to see you guys tuning in again. And Infinity still remembers the good old days when the Spottersplaats at Kaagbaan was still open. It was always very busy. But back then I think it wasn't it the only one, or was the one at the McDonald's already open back then? I don't know for sure, but I know that since they opened the Polderbaan soon thereafter, the one over here was shut down, or maybe even earlier than that. I don't know exactly in which order it all happened, but as soon as the Polderbaan opened an official spotter's place, it was soon thereafter done with the one over here at the Kaagbaan. Now just about visible. Like the Azzurro d'Italia, Airways. Still visible in the background. Let's have a look at flight radar. So inbound next is going to be a 737 inbound from London Heathrow, KLM flight 1002, 737-800, 14 years old. Let me turn around the camera for you guys. Where is it? There it is. Alright, next up is going to be Aegean A321 inbound from Athens, also 14 years old. First flight May 2008. In the meantime, goedemorgen to Jasper and to Marcel and to Wendy. Nice to see you all checking in again. Nice beginning of the week with some arrivals over here on 06. At the moment it is the only runway open for arrivals, unless of course they have changed it in the meantime since I set up. Let me double check that just to be sure. Last time I checked, 06 is the only runway open for arrival, so all inbound traffic is coming this way. In fact, Buitenvelderbaan and Polderbaan open for departures. And that seems to be the same Azzurro that we saw just now. Another Airways. Hey there, Ant-Man, goedemorgen, good morning. Coming to Holland in a week from now. Hopefully the weather will be better by then. If it's not going to change significantly, make sure that you bring winter clothing. Now, if I look further out, there's first a couple of narrow bodies, but there's also another Dreamliner from KLM that is making its way over here. First, I think 4 narrow bodies. And more heavies are certainly coming in later this morning. So hopefully we will get a nice mix between little and big airplanes. A little bit of variation. Let's see, inbound next is an E2 Embraer 195 inbound from Oslo, KLM flight 1142. The airplane 2 years old, first flight was in March 2021. Well, typical whistling that you heard. I've heard that very often. Looking at the discussion, or at least the conversation between Infinity and Ant-Man, I'm wondering if you're even able to purchase your Keukenhof tickets still. I'm not sure if they only pre-sell or if you can also buy them at the door. It's definitely busy over there now that everything has reopened again and the pandemic is more or less over. If you're not really into flowers, then you can easily skip it. Maybe visit the Polderbaan instead. Parking probably a bit easier. Less traffic jams. Hey there, guten Morgen Dieter. Herzlich willkommen. Hope you're doing well. Ah! Infinity, if you only live 5 minutes away, then you're probably one of my neighbors. That is coincidental. Yorkshire Biker, good morning my friend, I'm doing well. Hope you were able to finish all the chores around the house over the weekend successfully. Now, how about that? Very gentle landing. Very gentle indeed. Let's have a look. Is that Dreamliner? Yeah, the Dreamliner is coming next. So let me quickly turn around the camera. There is another heavy inbound soon to appear from the clouds. Let me double check. Is this where it is coming from? No, over here I think. Still searching a bit where I need to point the camera to for the airplane to become visible. So inbound now, KLM flight 719 inbound from Liberia, left there 9 hours 51 minutes ago, 7879 Dreamliner, 6 years old, first flight August 2016. Beautiful. And Infinity, nee, niet dorp, Poepolder. A bit more to the south. So it's a bit more than literally 5 minutes for me. Okay. Hey, good morning, Rick Meester. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. It's been a while since I've heard that. I've got some bad nose. Over here is where I should point the camera. Let's have a look. Inbound next, Boeing 737-800, inbound from Paris Charles de Gaulle, KLM flight 1228, left there 37 minutes ago, the airplane 4 years old, first flight April 2019. Now let's have a look, zoom a bit out. Oh, it seems that now Polderbaan has also been opened for arrivals, interesting, because they will be landing with tailwind, and it seems that at the moment a lot of traffic is going over there. Including some of the heavies, including the Saudia 747. WTF? That's not what we signed up for. Okay, so according to the app that mentions the current runway usage, Polderbaan switched from departures to arrivals, so 09 is now the only runway open for departure still, but on top of 06 being a runway for arrivals, now the Polderbaan in the 18 right configuration is also open for arrivals, which means that we will not be seeing all inbound traffic at the moment. We have to share. Sharing is caring, but in this case I'd rather not share. So back to flight radar, because there is a lot of traffic still inbound. Now what I see mostly is going to Polderbaan, so it seems that we will have to wait a bit for the next traffic to come this way. Inbound traffic from Norwich and from Brussels. They are still both far out, relatively speaking. So what is going on over here? In the background, a plane departing from 09. Emirates Sky Cargo 777 freighter. Are they loading or unloading? Cannot tell for sure. Let me have a look on the bigger screen of my laptop. Well, the Embraer 190 inbound from Norwich is flying to the southeast, so that is going to come this way. Don't know yet what the 737 inbound from Brussels is going to do. Now there are many more planes arriving. There's also a 777-200 inbound from Cartagena, flying over the North Sea. That one can still go either way. Okay, so we have a little bit of a temporary lull. This runway is still open, but a lot of the inbound traffic is now going to the Polderraam. Looks like the... oh no, it hasn't turned yet. Okay. So, a bit of a lull. It is going to pick up again pretty soon. In the meantime, let me have a look in the chat. And thank you, Dieter. Hopefully, when the sun is going to come out, it is going to be a schöner Tag than it already is. They did say that the sun was going to get more room in the course of the day. Ex Del Rio checking in from the Philippines. Well, good evening, afternoon. What is the time difference? Probably still afternoon over there. Hope you're doing well. Rogerio Menim sends hugs from Brazil. Thank you so much for the hugs. Virtual hug back to you, my friend. And good morning, Betty. How are you all doing this Monday morning? Well, we're waiting for some traffic, but that also gives me some time to warm up my hands a little bit. And otherwise, I'm doing really well. Hope you're doing well too. And the weather in the Netherlands, Dieter, is currently still cloudy, not too warm, 8 or 9 degrees centigrade, so in the 40s Fahrenheit. A little bit of wind from the north, northeast, northwest. It's varying around the north. And Lance, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. It is a bit misty, hazy, call it what you will. Visibility is not optimal. It is set to become better during the day. We'll have to see. And Infinity lives near the flower store. Well, I think I probably live a bit more to the south, more towards the border of the area that is still built and before the more greener part towards the windmill begins. Hey there, Michael Painter, good morning. Hope you're doing well, good to see you again. Amelie, good morning. And Clade, good morning. Hey there, Nelly, sorry, Boltjes, but Nelly. I was about to say Neltje. Mixing up the front part of your first name and the last part of your last name. Hope you're doing well. Now, let me go back to flight radar and see. Oh yeah, there are 3 planes inbound. Let me turn around the camera. The first one is already becoming visible. It is a Boeing 737-700. Well, no, this is something different. This is one that I don't see on flight radar. Interesting. There it is. This is a private plane. And a small one at that. What's that? Those diamond thingies. I can typically recognize a Cessna and a Piper. This looks different. I'm already fully zoomed in. And even in the foreground it looks minuscule if you look in the background and see that big plane. Nice to see the size difference. Now, let me turn around the camera because inbound is a Boeing 737-700 from KLM, inbound from Brussels, and after that an Embraer 190 inbound from Norwich, and after that we are going to see a 777-200 inbound from Cartagena. Now, I think this was where the traffic is appearing out of the clouds from. It is opening up a little bit. And it's a Cirrus SR22. Thank you guys so much for informing me. And all the others. Meanwhile, the sun almost looks like it's coming from clouds. There is a patch of, a thin patch. You can now see the contour of the sun if I look up. Who knows what the rest of the day might bring. Now, let's see, oh yeah, so this is the direction. So in the vicinity of the pole and the white rooftop. Okay. Saw it as well. For a moment it seemed like the sun was shining on the airplane. We do have a little bit of an opening over here in the clouds. In the meantime I can already see the lights of the next airplane, the Embraer 190 inbound from Norwich. See if I can also center it in the field of view. Still, oh yeah, there it is. Still a little bit of getting used to where the traffic is coming from. So after this airplane we are going to see a KLM 777-200 inbound from Cartagena. Very gentle, nothing to see on to the next. Now it looks like there's also a Dreamliner inbound from Bonaire coming this way if I glance on my little screen that has flight radar open. First up, this 777-200ER from KLM, flight 741 inbound Cartagena, left there 9 hours 10 minutes ago. The airplane 19 years old, first flight January 2004. Yorkshire Biker remarks that you haven't seen me stream from this viewpoint before. That's because it was only yesterday when somebody asked me during the stream of yesterday if I ever also streamed from other locations, that it dawned on me that it was 3 months ago for the last time that I was over here. Back then I still didn't have a great following, so probably nobody ever saw the stream in the first place. Well, 2 streams actually. I was also using a different tripod back then. Also my ergonomics and my sound were still less than optimal. But yesterday got me thinking, and I figured, hey, it's about time that I go back to this location, see if I can still pull it off from this location. I remember for departures it was really hard to follow the airplanes because they come over relatively high overhead already. Now the airplanes that are landing are flying much lower already. I think even if they were to change it up to departures, just by all the things I've upgraded and learned in our last couple of months, that following them would probably go a lot easier. Actually, it is a shame having been away from this location for so long, because as you guys can see, it is actually a really good place to do some streaming from. Is that Chocolaterie in the distance? Seems like Chocolaterie. Well, as it's taxiing to take off, it's going to runway 09, so unfortunately we're not going to see a lot of it. Now if I show you guys a bit of the bigger picture and also the sky, you guys can see that we actually do have some openings forming, so maybe in an hour or so I might be standing here in the sun complaining about how warm it is. That would be a very nice situation to be in. Although I'm glad that my hands are not getting as cold anymore as they were in the beginning. So next up is a 737 from Transavia inbound Barcelona, 20 years old. And after that we are going to see a TUI Dreamliner inbound from Bonaire. Now check flight radar, I really have to see to allow me some time, otherwise the subject has flown out of the field of view already. keep the view a little zoomed out. Have a look at flight radar. Inbound next. TUI flight 703 inbound from Bonaire. Left there 8 hours 34 minutes ago. It is a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner that is 8 years old and had its first flight in May 2014. If you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, do consider subscribing to the channel, folks. Make sure that when you do subscribe that you turn on notifications so that whenever I go live again, you receive a heads up and can join us for more action over here at the ever-bustling Schiphol Airport. Back to the southeast we point the camera. Let's have a look at flight radar. Inbound next is an Embraer 190 KLM flight 1740 inbound Luxembourg. Embraer 190 left Luxembourg 40 minutes ago. The airplane 14 years old. First flight was in November 2008. Behind it is going to be an A319 from EasyJet inbound London Luton, and I also see Delta Airlines flight 162 inbound from Minneapolis come this way, and it's most likely going to be number 3. And Yorkshire Biker, absolutely correct. I keep forgetting that, but also make sure to give the stream a like if you are liking what you're seeing. If you are tuning in just now, welcome to AMS Live on this Monday morning. My name is Boy. This is the Kaagbaan runway 0624 that is currently in use as runway 06 for arrivals. Now, earlier as I was setting up and was beginning the stream, it was the only runway for arrivals. At this moment, runway 18 right is also being used for arrivals. The Polderbaan, although I do expect it to be only temporary, but you never know for sure with Schiphol. Wind over here is currently blowing from the north, approximately 8 knots or so, and that is why I am a bit surprised that they also opened 18 right for arrivals, because the airplanes landing over there have tailwind. Now it's not blowing very hard, so they are probably not going to have any difficulties with landing because of it, but interesting nonetheless. Temperature, well, it was 8 or 9 degrees. I can imagine that the temperature will rise quickly if the sun comes out a bit more. They did say that it was going to go towards 15 degrees later during the week, 15C, so that is approximately 60 F. And in the meantime, one of the many EasyJet Airbuses left that has landed on the Polderbaan, and I've mentioned it a couple of times already. Those airplanes, they first have to taxi over here because the cargo area of Schiphol Airport is on both sides of runway 0624. So you already saw the Emirates Sky Cargo 777 over here. That's one part. And on the other side of the runway, a little bit obscured by whatever these mounds are. On the construction site, you can see the tails of the other cargo planes parked over there. That's where the cargo area of Schiphol Airport is. So if airplanes land, cargo planes land on the Polderbaan, they always have a bit of a taxi ahead of them. Well, all airplanes do actually, but given that the cargo area is on the south side of the main platform area, it is a bit further out. So this is Delta A330-300, if I'm not mistaken, inbound Minneapolis. What's the name of that dairy product again? Oh yeah, butter. Hey Sasha, good morning, goedemorgen. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to all others who have in the meantime joined us. Feel free to add conversation in the chat. Don't be shy. People over here don't bite. Now, here too, another water is bordering the runway area, as you also saw along all the other runways. No fences. People sometimes ask when they're unfamiliar with Schiphol, where are the fences? There are no fences. There's just an amount of water around the runway area, and I think it's even not that deep. Never tried it myself, but it doesn't look very deep. But that is also why you see security vehicles patrolling. Of course, the Schiphol scarecrows, the bird controllers also always have an eye out for what is going on. Nice landing there from the Transavia 737. Let's have a look and see what is inbound next. Another 737 from Transavia. Embraer 190 inbound from London City. E2 Embraer 195 inbound from Newcastle. Another Embraer 190 inbound Dublin. Okay, well, hopefully the A330 inbound from Bonaire that is still over the North Sea will come this way. Otherwise, it's going to be another Embraer feast that we already had not too long ago. And just about visible over there is the next airplane. So again, Transavia. Oh, this is a relocation flight from Eindhoven to Amsterdam. So only an inland relocation flight. This is a 23-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in April 2000. Operating the camera, okay. Now, believe it or not, but the sun is starting to come out from behind the clouds more and more. I think that's a very good suggestion, Lance, that if a good landing is buttery, then a bad landing is cheese or formaggio. I totally agree. I think that is very good. Let's introduce that. That was a very cheesy landing. Buttery or cheesy? I have no idea where it's coming from, but this whole morning since I've been standing here, there's this sulfuric smell, the smell of sulfur. I don't know if it's one of the companies that is located around Schiphol that is leaking something into the air, but a bit smelly. The air is certainly a bit fresher over at the Polderbaan, where there's more green around. Well, here's the E2 Embraer 195 with the engines. That sort of whistling, and I also heard during the landing of a previous E2 Embraer 195. Starting to wonder if it's maybe wind whistling along the edges of the flaps or something, although I haven't heard it with other airplane types. Maybe one of you guys know what we heard. Now, first up is going to be an Embraer 190, and it does seem that the A330 inbound from Bonaire is coming this way, although there is some other traffic that precedes it. First up, KLM flight 934 Embraer 190 inbound Dublin, left there an hour and 8 minutes ago. The airplane 14 years old, first flight January 2009. And after that we are going to see a Netjets Bombardier Challenger inbound from Brussels. Landing there. Was a bit cheesy. Well, what was the new consensus? A bit lumpy, Yorkshire pudding landing. Okay, so soon to become visible is a Bombardier Challenger 350 from Netjets inbound from Brussels. This is a 7-year-old airplane that had its first flight in January of 2016. After that we will be seeing a KLM Boeing 737-800 inbound from Edinburgh, left there an hour and 3 minutes ago and is 15 years old. And after that, number 3 is going to be KLM flight 767 inbound Bonaire A330-300, departed 8 hours 36 minutes ago, and that is an 11-year-old plane that had its first flight in February 2012. Well, cheesy or hard cheese, I think both would be a good description for a hard and or bumpy landing. Smelly cheese. Omelette du fromage. Oh no, that's something different. So inbound next is the A330 inbound from Bonaire. After that we are going to see another Embraer 175 inbound from Southampton. Next an Embraer 190 inbound Stavanger, and then a 777 inbound Curaçao. So another heavy after two Embraers after this A330. Lovely landing there. The sun is getting out a little bit every now and then. You guys can see it is still mostly cloudy, but there are a few holes appearing to form through which the sun occasionally can peek out. Hey Ina, goedemorgen, good morning. Good to see you, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Monday morning. Well, is it still morning? What time is it? Oh, it's still morning, yeah, the Monday morning stream. The Embraer 175, just about visible. As you guys can see, it is still a bit hazy. The sun is very much doing its best to burn away the moisture. Start shining. White nose cone on this airplane. Now there are a few water birds over here as well. Hiding a bit behind the grass. You can hear them clearly. So if I recall correctly, after this Embraer we are going to see a 777 inbound from Bonaire. gentle landing indeed. In the meantime, goedemorgen Lieve. Good to see you. Hommelgat from don't know exactly what location that is. Jean-Yves, good morning, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let me turn around the camera quickly. Heavy inbound, heavy inbound. There we go. Lovely there, lovely. Now, I don't see any more traffic going to the Polderbaan and a long line of inbound traffic for this runway. Mostly Embraers, unfortunately, so a bit monotonous. Ah, Matthijs says that his father is about to land. The one making the landing. Awesome. Well, I think we just filmed it, so that would be excellent. Where's the one from Curaçao still out there? Was it go there? Still a bit early. Let me go check. Yeah, no, this was indeed the Curaçao flight just now. Well, next up, an E2 Embraer 195 and a whole battery of Embraers in all different shapes and sizes are going to follow for the next couple of minutes. Upside, if I look at flight radar, is that now 06 seems to be the only runway for arrivals once again. So hopefully we will still see a few more heavies later in the stream. Next up is an Embraer 175 inbound Aberdeen. And there it is. So let's see. Two more Embraer 175 are inbound. First one being from Humberside, the other one from Lyon. Both KLM. Let's see what is coming next. Another Embraer 190, another Embraer 175, another Embraer 190, 737. Okay, so there are two consecutive 777s coming in. Dreamliner also behind it, so that is all good news. A330 inbound from Detroit. So there is a couple of heavies back to back on their way over here, coming from the other side of the Atlantic. But first, we'll see half of KLM's Embraer fleet once again. Air traffic control could somehow sort them so that it's heavy, narrow body, heavy, narrow body. Makes for a bit more variation than having them all back to back, but I get it. Differences between the amount of space between the aircraft and also just how they arrive over here. So another Embraer 175. Previous one displayed some wing flap tip vortices. Don't see them over here. Smooth touchdown. Hard to make out what airplane that is. It's going to exactly, so let's just focus on the inbound traffic then. And you guessed it, another Embraer. Let me have a look at flight radar. Embraer 190 inbound Cardiff in the SkyTeam livery, this one. next is another Embraer. It is a 175 inbound from Darlington. In the meantime, the heavies that I just mentioned are also getting closer by and are also following the traffic pattern to go to the runway. There are two more Embraers coming, including the one that we see right now. Then we will see at least one 737. Maybe we see another Embraer 190 after that. There's also something coming from the direction of The Hague and Rotterdam this way. Inbound Basel, from Basel. Let's see, I think the Embraer inbound from Basel is going to be number 4. Then the triple, 2 triples and a Dreamliner at least are looking to come back to back over here. Oh, there's also an A330 approaching, now flying over The Hague. Okay, so there are definitely more heavies inbound. Hey Betty, thanks for joining us. Have a nice week. Hope to see you again later. Enjoy the day, enjoy the rest of the week, and hopefully until soon. Buttery smooth. Hey Roy, goedemiddag. Yeah, just now, afternoon over here. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you again. Everybody who has joined in the meantime but hasn't interacted yet in the chat, do feel free to use the chat. Introduce yourself. Don't be shy. People over here won't bite. So, if you just tuned in, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is runway 06, the Kaagbaan. At the moment, once again, the only runway for arrivals. Earlier, we had a moment where the Polderbaan was also open, but at the moment, or at least last time I checked a few minutes ago, this was still the only runway. Once again, the only runway open for arrivals. This is runway 06. The airplanes land in northeastern direction. Wind is coming from the north, so there is a little bit of crosswind from the left. Not too hard. Less than 10 knots of wind, if I recall correctly. Temperature, well, while I was setting up, it was 8 or 9 degrees centigrade, so that is mid to high 40s. Sun is slowly but surely creeping out every now and then, and temperature is probably going to reach the double digits in centigrade. Although with the wind, it doesn't yet feel that way. En Lisette also checking in. Goedemiddag. Alles goed? Laura, good afternoon. Well, afternoon for us, morning for you probably still. Hope you're doing well. Photo for you. Goedemiddag. Good to see you again, my friend. Polderbaan also now open for start. So they once again flipped it around. As I was setting up, Polderbaan was used for departures together with the Buitenvelderbaan 09. Then for a moment they switched it up. And for the third time within 24 hours are we seeing the DAPRI Chocolaterie Leysieffer Chocolaterie livery from German Airways. Yesterday during the stream we saw it twice, and that was once departing to Düsseldorf, and then the second time after it had flown back from Düsseldorf. In the meantime it went out to Göteborg, and now another Chocolaterie landing. So now it is heavies time, at least a few. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Now it is time for the big birds to play. Gentle, look at that. So yeah, there is a bit of wind, also a little bit of crosswind, but you can see these big jets, they don't have any difficulty landing buttery smooth. So that was the first of a couple of heavies that are inbound. The next one just about becoming visible. Just now we saw a 777-200 land that was inbound from Vancouver. Next up an A330-200 inbound from Kigali, 17 years of age, and after that we are going to see another 777 inbound from Panama City. That is a 777-300ER. First up is A330. What can I say? Beautiful landing. Let's see how the triple inbound from Panama City is going to perform. Already visible in the distance. Gradually coming over here. KLM flight 758 777-300ER departed from Panama City 9 hours and 42 minutes ago. This airplane, 2 years old, it had its first flight in January of 2021. Miss Wolves 13 says good afternoon, and I say good afternoon to you too, Miss Wolves. Hope you are doing well on this Monday. Well, afternoon for us in mainland Europe, maybe if you're from the UK or further to the west. It is still morning. Soft landings, but I haven't seen any extended wheelies as they sometimes showcase when they are landing on the Polderbaan. Makes me wonder if they are really actually doing that to show off to the public that is standing next to the runway. Hey there, English Pinglish. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. English Pinglish. Like the name. In the meantime, let me also quickly look at flight radar. What is coming in next? KLM flight 1230 737-800 left Paris Charles de Gaulle 45 minutes ago, 11 years old, first flight May 2011. After that we are going to see KLM flight 604, a Boeing 7879 Dreamliner inbound from LAX. Little bit of banking. Now the sun is starting to get out more and more over here, which is extremely welcome. You guys can see it is opening up more and more. It was fully overcast as I began streaming earlier this morning. So this time around it seems that the weather predictions are actually coming true. So, KLM 604 7879 Dreamliner inbound from LAX left there 10 hours and a minute ago, according to flight radar. 7 years old, first flight October 2015. And Timo says hello from Fiji. Good afternoon, my friend. Hope you're doing well. What's the time difference with Fiji? 8 or so hours? So it's probably early evening, or is it less hours and still afternoon over there? So if you're new to the channel but you're liking what you're seeing, don't forget that you can also subscribe to the channel. Consider doing so, and if you do, make sure to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live again, you receive a notification. And if you have the time for it and are feeling like it, you can join us once again For now, we are waiting for a Transavia 737-800 inbound from Faro that left there 2 hours 45 minutes ago, 12 years old, first flight May 2010. After that we are going to see an A330 from Delta Airlines inbound from Detroit, and after that a Vueling A320 inbound from Barcelona. Let me quickly turn around the camera because the Delta A330 is already getting closer by. There it is. So, Delta Airlines flight 136 A330-300 inbound from Detroit, left there 7 hours 36 minutes ago. The airplane is a bit old, 19 years. First flight was in October 2003. Okay, so the Delta pilot does seem to be doing a little bit of a wheelie. And yeah, it was a buttery smooth landing, that's for sure. Hardly ever see A330s bouncing around when they touch down. Always seem to be very smooth and gentle. Okay, so Timo says it's already 10:15 p.m. there. Rather late. So that is a 10-hour time difference. I thought it was 9 or less, but Fiji is 10 hours time difference with mainland Europe now. Okay. And Tin Win Myint, I probably totally mispronounced that. Apologies for that. It is in Burma 4:45 p.m. Okay, so half an hour time difference. I do know that there are some time zones that have half-hour differences with, instead of 1 hour increments with the rest of the world. There are a few time zones that have X.5 hour time difference with the rest of the global time zones. Interesting that Burma has one of those time zones. I think they also have that in India or in parts of Russia. Now I have to delve really deep into what I once heard and read. Welling. And Christer90 says same goes for Nepal, I believe. I had a conference call a few months ago from Denmark with Nepal. Doesn't North Korea also have a different time zone, or is that just something I thought I knew. I don't know. I'm also due for some more coffee. Let's see, Lance says, boy, you could cross the time zone near Fiji and gain or lose a day just like that. Exactly. Time traveling. Who said it can be done? Nonsense. So yeah folks, it is starting to open up just a little bit further. Hey Paul, back again. Good to see you. So let's have a look in the meantime what is coming in. Let me turn around the camera because the funk is coming in. Funk with PH. Funky time. So this is the PH-UNC Dassault Falcon 7X inbound from Nice from Netjets Netherlands. 12 years old. Left there 1.5 hours ago. Just a bit more. What is coming in further? Narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies. Where are all the heavies? Oh well. Down boy, down boy. They really want to minimize the taxi time to the general aviation part of the platform. You know, they can easily do with a fraction of the runway length probably. Figured, hey, let's stay airborne and save on the tires a bit. Okay, so it is narrow bodies again. Embraer 190 inbound Helsinki KLM. 9 years old. First flight January 2014. A320neo from EasyJet after that, inbound from Edinburgh. So we've only had a brief funky intermezzo. Now it's back to the rhythm of the narrow bodies. Inbound next, A320neo, inbound from Edinburgh, EasyJet. Let's turn around the camera so you guys can see. So, EasyJet, flight 23301, A320neo, 3 years old, first flight April 2019. After that, KLM Boeing 737-900, inbound from Milan, left there 1.5 hours ago. The airplane 21 years old, first flight September 2001. Let me zoom out a bit further. Okay, so there is another 777 coming this way, inbound from Lima. First up, now by the sun, beautifully illuminated EasyJet. See that some more viewers have turned up. Good afternoon and welcome to AMS Live. You're watching incoming traffic, runway 06. My name is Boy. At the moment this is the only runway in use for arrivals, and wind seems to be picking up a little bit. It is blowing from the north. The runway is oriented to the northeast, so there is a bit of northeast. So there is a little bit of crosswind from the left. Not a whole lot. It was overcast this morning. It is now opening up, slowly but surely. I think temperature hovers around 10 degrees centigrade at the moment, so that is approximately 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Earlier this morning, when it was still fully overcast, it was a bit colder. No precipitation in the forecast for this week. Well, at least no precipitation of any significance. I did believe that they warned for an occasional isolated shower. For 2 days now, giving those warnings off, and thus far I haven't seen a droplet, other than the droplets that are dripping from my nose, because with these temperatures it is still runny. I don't see any windsocks in the vicinity, but I can show you this flag as a proxy for the wind speed and direction. It's not the most photogenic of surroundings compared with the Polderbaan. It does have a more industrial vibe, this location. We're waiting for the next airplane to arrive, which is going to be an Aer Lingus A320 inbound from Dublin. Left there an hour and 5 minutes ago. The airplane 18 years old. 5 years? 18 years old, first flight June 2004. Now zooming out a bit further. Okay, the 777 from KLM inbound from Lima is also getting closer. I think it's about 10 minutes out or so. So after the Aer Lingus, we'll see a 737-8 MAX. An EasyJet Neo, another Embraer 190 from KLM, and if I count correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems that the 777 inbound from Lima is going to be number 5. In the meantime, I see that our favorite moderator Kathleen has also joined the chat. Good day to you. Hope you're doing well. Early morning still over there. Not as early as when I began streaming before 9 AM local time one time, when it was still in the middle of the night. Interesting that this is an 18-year-old airplane, but it is in the new livery, so they did take the effort to repaint the livery instead of keeping it as it was. Wonder what the reasoning for that would be. Ina asks if this is the Aalsmeerbaan. No, this is the Kaagbaan, Ina. So runway 0624, and I'm standing at the southwestern end of it. So if I quickly show you around a little bit. The runway parallel to the water on the right. In the middle you see the tower. Over here is the north side of the platform, the cargo platform. So it's on both sides of runway 0624. Over here begins the main terminal building. And the Aalsmeerbaan is on an angle to this runway, slightly coming towards us from that side to this side, and the McDonald's is behind on the other side of the main terminal building. Here you see the old control tower, and on that side also is the panorama rooftop terrace on the other side of the terminal building, where also the Fokker airplane is on display. So the Aalsmeerbaan runs over there. As a Blue Air 737 touches down. But this is the Kaagbaan, and I'm standing on the westernmost part of it. Over here you have the A4 highway. Trucks are moving towards the Schiphol tunnel, towards Amsterdam, and in the other direction you are moving towards The Hague. Those two towers are Hoofddorp, near the train station, and there are other buildings obscuring the rest of the view. But this is the Kaagbaan, runway 0624. Now switching over to National Geographic mode. Here are some ducks. I also saw other birds in the water on the other side, but for now these are the only ducks that I have seen so far today. A posse of male ducks. Where are all the ladies at? Well, oh, maybe they are further out. What are those two? Are those the ladybirds? Are they all a bit hard for me to see with the backlight? So birds abound everywhere around Schiphol. As I said earlier, all the runway areas are basically bordered by canals and no fences. Many viewers have already asked the question, where are the fences? Well, there are a few fences here and there, but not over here. But there are some entrances that lead to the platform area on that side, and there fences are definitely built, and police and other authorities also regularly patrol to make sure that no trespassers enter the platform area. So here is the Schiphol finally. Just gotta love the sound of those engines. Well, as you guys can see, at ground level it is still a bit hazy. But zooming out and pointing a bit upward will show you that it is opening up gradually, as was predicted, so happy that that prediction seems to be coming true. I see that Kathleen has been added again. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for your generous support. Really appreciate it. You are too kind. Thank you so much, and welcome to all new members to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Let's see what is coming up. So first up is going to be a BA Embraer 190 inbound from London City, 10 years old, and let's see, 737-800, A320neo, Embraer 190. Icelandair Flight 500 from Reykjavik is also nearby. That is a Boeing 767-300 today, in the old Icelandair livery. which I have to say I prefer more than the new one. Another 777 inbound from Atlanta, still on the over the North Sea, looking to the east. The Emirates A380 inbound, now crossing the border from Germany to the Netherlands. We have a 777 freighter from China Southern Cargo coming closer by. A330 from Turkish inbound from Istanbul. Okay, so there are some more heavies underway. Next plane is still a bit far out for the camera to really capture it properly. And Finn Snelderwaard asks which runway this is. This is runway 0624. And indeed a bit of a cheesy landing, the BA. Whether if it's smooth, hard cheese if it is not so smooth. Now there's a whole train of airplanes lining up. The Icelandair B763ER also gradually getting closer by. Hey Marissa, goedemiddag, good to see you. It was a bit of a dull livery, wasn't it, photo for you? They were a bit skimping on the budget for the livery. the flying pilot shows how it's done. Even a little wheelie, although hard to see from over here, definitely visible. Smooth landing. Not just the A330s that can do it. The Neos can do it just as well. Okay, so the Icelandair B763ER is now third for arrival, if I counted correctly. In the meantime, the 777 inbound from Atlanta getting closer by, the 777 inbound from Shanghai also getting closer by. Now obviously the A380 also getting closer by. It has entered Dutch airspace in the meantime. So on the current conditions we are going to see the A380 as well. Hopefully Polderbaan doesn't reopen as a runway for arrivals in the meantime. We have had that once before. Would be a shame if that were to happen again in the meantime. Now, checking the app that shows the current runway usage, I am happy to say that 06 is at the moment still the only runway in use for arrivals, if that data is correct, that is. Fingers crossed. Haven't even had a look yet on flight radar to see if the A380 that is flying to Amsterdam today maybe a special livery of some kind. Yesterday, the journey to the future. Special livery flew to Amsterdam. We did see it in the distance from the Polderbaan, but it took off from another runway. I think this one runway, in fact. Wilma has to go already. Well, Wilma, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Have a nice week. Hopefully I will see you again at one of the next streams, which are probably going to take place from Friday onwards. And make sure to enjoy the sunshine when you get the chance, because it is a scarce commodity over here in the Netherlands. Hey Koenie, goedemiddag. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well, mates. Just floating above the runway, waiting for the speed to drop and gravity to do its thing. Took a little while, but it does result in a soft touchdown if they keep hovering above the ground, only a few feet, inches above it. Inches. Okay, so the traffic pattern is fully booked. All kinds of airplanes on their way. Boeing 767, a couple of triples, the A330 from Turkish, the A380 from Emirates also creeping closer by. First up, Icelandair Boeing 767. Beautiful. Let's see here. Approximately the next plane should become visible shortly. Don't see it just yet. Hey Roy, thank you so much for your kind donation. 5 new members because of Roy. Thank you so much. Very generous of you. Really appreciate the support, my friend. And welcome to all new members to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Well, folks, not too long before the Emirates A388 is going to come and land in front of us. Unless, of course, a new runway change gets put through by Schiphol. So far everything seems to be flying into this direction, so I think we're good. Before the Emirates A380 is going to land in a 15-20 minutes or so, there are also 2 777s and a Turkish A330. They're also coming this way. See, the sun is starting to shine more and more. We started the stream with fully overcast conditions. It is opening up gradually. If I zoom out, point the camera a bit upward, you guys can see. So this is approximately to the west and back to where the airplanes are coming from. Southwest. Top Air Portugal, also a very recognizable Take a moment to grab a sip of water. Have to stay properly hydrated. Alright, so here we have a bigger bird coming. 777 inbound from Atlanta, 777-300ER, in fact, 6 years old. Its first flight was in May 2016, KLM flight 622. And folks, if you're new to the channel but you're liking what you're seeing, do consider to subscribe. If you do subscribe, thank you, first of all, and second of all, when you do subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notifications. times like these, take off or land, you receive a heads up, so you can join us once again if you are feeling like it and have the time for it. Now, I keep saying please subscribe if you're liking the content, and I'm happy to report that it seems to be sorting effect. Not too long ago I was looking and I saw that approximately 15% of my viewers was subscribed. Lately it has gradually been going towards 20%, which still means that 80% of the viewers is not subscribed, but it is getting better, slowly but surely. A subscription costs nothing, but it does help grow the channel, reach more people like you and me who are also into aviation live stream content like this. So let me take this moment to have a look at flight radar. I'm just curious to see what today's, it is a normal livery, okay, what today's Emirates A380 is going to look like. First up, a KLM Embraer 175, inbound from Kristiansand, 6 years old, first flight January 2017, left Kristiansand an hour and 8 minutes ago. Okay, let's quickly turn around the camera. We have a heavy inbound. So this is China Southern Cargo, inbound from Shanghai. Flight time is 11 hours and 30 minutes. The airplane 7 years old. First flight was in June 2015. So yeah, Danny rules. The weather is definitely improving. Happy to see that. We started out with a fully overcast day. Now the sun is shining almost completely. The wind is still chilly though, but it's much less chilly if the sun is shining simultaneously than when it is fully overcast. Definitely a good landing and a good sound from that 777 that we saw just now. Now we are only just warming up because there's a 777 still out there, if I'm not mistaken, or has it already landed? I think it did already land. So there is an Embraer 190 coming in next, and after that an Airbus A380-200 from Turkish, and a few planes after that. We are going to see today's Emirates A380. So if you need a refill for your coffee, make sure that you do that once the A330 has landed following this Embraer. It should give you a few more minutes to do that, take a bathroom break, and be back behind the screen in time for the Emirates A380 Super. Well, at the risk of being repetitive, that was a buttery smooth landing, but it was. Okay, here is the Turkish Airlines Airbus A380-200 inbound from Istanbul. In the meantime, a young fellow rides his bike into the grass field in front of me on his electric bike. Also looking to come spot some airplanes. He also knows the A380 Oof, that was a bit of a bumpy landing. That was fromage, hard cheese indeed. In the meantime, there's a very intelligent young man that rode his electric bike onto the grass to also have a nice view. He had to come from over there to make sure he has a front row seat for when the A380 is coming in. There are two more planes preceding it, an Embraer 190 and a Boeing 737-900. And after that we are going to see today's Emirates A380 Super. Now, if I look at flight radar, it seems that the Alsmeerba might also have opened for arrivals, because I do see a couple of planes that behind me visually. Don't see anything, but it does seem that there is a second runway open for landings, except now it is the Alsmeerbaan. Okay, so inbound next, KLM flight 1344 inbound from Billund, Embraer 190, left there 51 minutes ago. The airplane is 7 years old. First flight was in November 2015. smooth, very nice. Now, it seems that the 777 freighter from Emirates Sky Cargo is finally going to depart. Unfortunately, we are not going to see it depart from over here. Okay, so let's have a look. There's of course the 737 that is still hopefully you guys can see it a bit clearer. Where is the thing in the foreground? Let's see. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have the daily Emirates A388 Super coming in from Dubai after a flight of 6 hours and 38 minutes. This particular airplane in the standard livery, 9 years old, first flight was in February 2014. Smoothest of landings, also not the hardest. Thrust reversers clearly audible. So lucky break there indeed, Marissa, with 18 right also now open for arrivals. That could have ended much worse, so to speak. Okay, now there are more heavies underway. First up is an A320, but then we are expecting a Dreamliner from Aeromexico and also an A330 from Delta, inbound from Seattle. So let's quickly turn around the camera. Let's have a look further out on flight radar, see what is cooking. Mostly narrow bodies that are flying now within Dutch airspace, so to speak. I keep forgetting that I need to zoom out a bit when checking flight radar because the airplane will leave the picture very quickly. Alright, well, let's quickly turn around the camera. We are seeing our next plane arriving. Aeromexico, inbound from Mexico City. Beautiful Dreamliner. Burro, definitely. Okay, so inbound next, the Delta A330 inbound from Seattle. It is clearing up a little bit. So, are we able to see? No, we cannot see the plane behind it just yet, so visibility is still too hazy for that, unfortunately. But it is becoming easier to see the inbound traffic underway. Keep looking to the middle of the screen thinking, is that a 747? But it's just the deformation because of the heat. Thinking, hey, is that a two-story nose of an airplane? But it isn't. Okay, so let's have a look. 2 737s inbound. First one inbound from Barcelona, KLM flight 1666. And after that we are seeing its smaller brother, the 700, inbound from Geneva. Then an Embraer 190 inbound from Brussels. Another 737 seems to be coming this way. More 737s. Okay, alright. How about any heavies? 737s, 737s. Okay. So there are a few triples flying over Germany. The question is, will we see them or will they land on runway 18 right 360? That might be the Suparna 747 that we saw land in the, first 10 minutes or so of the stream. Now taxiing to fly back again, outbound. So if you follow this airplane, you can see where they can cross over the highway that I showed you guys earlier, go towards the northern part of the main platform area, and eventually taxi towards the Polderbaan. A lot of buildings in the way. Eventually over here we have the A4 highway. First the bus stations, and you can see the traffic. The highway on top is the A5 highway. There is an intersection where the road splits. If you follow the A5 highway, you can also drive along the now still closed runway 18 center 367. Meanwhile, the weather is getting better and better. Really happy for that. Looking around, you guys can see, even though there are still a few clouds here and there, it has opened up quite nicely. This is towards the south. There's still a bit more clouds over there. That's not too strange, considering that the wind is blowing from the north. In the meantime, another Embraer from KLM. One of the many Embraers we've already seen, not just today. I think they are the most abundantly appearing airplanes in any of the Schiphol streams. There's just no way around them. Now, given the fact that there are still mostly narrow bodies underway, I am thinking about wrapping it up for today. I will go out again for another live stream on Friday and the days after Friday. Probably won't be able to go out on Thursday because I also need to be present in Utrecht, so probably it's going to be a late one for me that day. Don't expect that we will be done earlier in the day, so I think next time I'm going to go out will be on Friday, and then of course the weekend days. Preparing some arrangements that hopefully will free up Thursdays for me as well. So I hope it won't be too long before I will also be able to do streaming on Thursdays. I will keep you guys posted on that, of course. In the meantime, the duck family taking a relaxed nap in the sun, or at least some of the family members, if they are related, are. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me again today. It's been a blast. Although a bit of a hazy blast. It was a bit hazy in the beginning. Now they keep saying that it's supposed to get, the weather is supposed to get better, so hopefully when I go back out again later in the week, things are similar, conditions are similar to what they are turning out to become right now. So again, thank you all for joining me. Thanks to Roy and thanks to Kathleen for your generous gifting of new memberships. I want to thank all the new members and all the existing members to our Sky Lounge. Thank you all so much for supporting me. It really means a lot to me, and I hope that I will see you again later in the week. For now, have a nice day, take care. If there's sun out where you're living, do go out and get some free vitamin D, and I will see you again when I see you. Take care for now, and bye bye.